Swayam Prabha. Digital India. Educated India.
Welcome back. In the earlier module, we had an introduction to multiple intelligences and its implication for the child with SLD. Before we begin to use multiple intelligences in the classroom, it would benefit to get a better understanding of each of these intelligences and how it can be used to maximize the learning potential of children. Let us take a quick look at the intelligences for a recap. We will start with linguistic intelligence. This is the intelligence of writers and poets. The core competency of this intelligence are: let's begin with sensitivity to words. Individuals who have the ability to use the correct word to the right audience, who have a large vocabulary of words, are said to possess this quality. They are usually good with spellings and deduce the meanings of even unfamiliar words when used to context. When we say sensitive to grammar, it means that these individuals are good with syntax of sentence and can construct sentences with ease, which are grammatically correct. They are also quick to notice the differences and the discrepancies of grammar in any sentence. With good sound and rhythm sensitivity, they are good at making up limericks and poems. The other core competency of communicating information and enthusing others through use of language complement each other and make for very effective speakers. In the classroom, these are your children who love words. They are immediately drawn to words, written and spoken words, and are often seen expressing themselves through words, through reading, writing, telling stories, and playing word games. They enjoy books, audiobooks, as well as written material. To facilitate learning of school subjects through linguistic intelligence, we can use debates, storytelling, process writing, journal writing, précis writing, and many such activities to enable the child to understand, process, remember, and reproduce the subject matter. Next, we will look at musical intelligence and its potential in the classroom. This is the intelligence of musicians and composers. The core competencies, as we have already seen in the earlier module, let's look at each of these in more detail. Sensitive to pitch in music indicates the person's ability to discriminate and judge the changes in the pitch and scale in a piece of music. This also indicates that they may be in sync with the scales when they produce music, sing, or play an instrument. Rhythm is that aspect of music that we can see in our everyday lives, right from the heart beating inside you to the ticking of the clock on the wall. To be able to maintain and identify the difference in rhythm is a skill that is indispensable for somebody who is involved in music. When an individual is sensitive to timbre in music, it means they can discriminate the various tonal aspects and the sound quality in music. For example, identifying a violin from a guitar in the same piece of music. In the classroom, these are your children who are often seen humming, tapping their feet, or making sound on the table using their pen or pencil. They are immediately drawn towards the tonal quality of the teacher's voice and respond well to auditory stimuli. To facilitate learning of school subjects through musical intelligence, we can use phonetics, singing, rhyming, setting answers to tune, and many such activities to enable children to understand, process, remember, and reproduce the subject matter. Next, we will look in detail at logical mathematical intelligence and its potential in the classroom. This is the intelligence of scientists and mathematicians. The core competencies, as we have seen earlier, are, let's look at each of these competencies in detail. Sorting and ordering indicates the individual's ability to categorize, sort and order objects and numbers. This also extends to their ability in organizing themselves. Their ability to understand statements, complex propositions and mathematical functions make them capable of handling data very effectively. They are hence able to make related abstractions associated with this. In the classroom, these are your children who are automatically drawn towards reasoning and numbers. They are very logical in their thinking and action and like to follow rules. They often enjoy mathematics, science and computer science. To facilitate learning of school subjects through logical mathematical intelligence, we can use puzzles, data collection and manipulation, critical thinking, sequencing and playing logical games and many such activities to enable children to understand, process, remember and reproduce their subject matter. We will look at spatial intelligence and its potential in the classroom. This is the intelligence of artists and architects, and as we have earlier seen, the core competencies of this intelligence are the ability to recognize an object, picture, line or graphic from different angles and views means that individuals with this intelligence can visualize a certain object or image from more angles than they are already seeing in it. For example, an object that is being viewed from eye level can be visualized from the bird's eye view as well. This is evident in perspective drawing. The next competency of being able to conjure up the graphic likeness and imagery of the said objects gives them the ability to reproduce the visualized image as computer graphics, 3D modeling or drawing. In the classroom, these are your children who think in images and pictures. They love to design, draw and represent their understanding through diagrams. They are often very good with visual arts. This is the intelligence of sportsmen and dancers. The core competencies of this intelligence are, let's look at the competencies in detail. Control of body movement indicates the person's ability to have good coordination, balance, flexibility, dexterity in the use of smaller muscles, grace and speed in body movement. They are also able to skillfully handle objects and tools. In the classroom, these are your children who are often seen running, jumping, dancing and building things. They do well in activities that use their body like dancing, sports, gymnastics, sculpting and craft. To facilitate learning of school subjects through bodily kinesthetic intelligence, we can get our children to try out hands-on experiments and activities, dramatizing, field trips, creative movements and many such activities that help them to understand, process, remember and reproduce the subject matter. Next, we will look at the intrapersonal intelligence and its potential in the classroom. This is the intelligence of philosophers and effective parents and teachers. Let's look at the core competencies in detail. Individuals with this intelligence have a lot of self-control and discipline. They are well aware of the limits that they have set for themselves. They are self-motivated and hence display a lot of zeal in their work. They are often seen to be persistent against all odds and keep trying till they are satisfied. In the classroom, these are your quieter children. They are often found thinking and sometimes dreaming. They set their own goals and work well independently. To facilitate learning of school subjects through intrapersonal intelligence, we can encourage these children to read independently, use journal writing, set individual goals, personal choices in projects, and generally provide them with a little bit of autonomy. Such activities can enable them to understand, process, remember, and reproduce the subject matter. It also helps these children to develop their own intrapersonal intelligence. Next, we will look at interpersonal intelligence. This is the intelligence of statesmen, social activists, effective parents, and teachers. The core competencies of this intelligence in detail are: empathy is the ability to look at a situation from the other person's point of view. Social skills include socially appropriate behavior to that person's social and cultural setting. Discriminating between various facial expressions and body language form a large part of this intelligence. Not just discriminating, but also responding effectively to them. Prioritizing intensity is a very important skill that allows a person to respond effectively and appropriately to a situation. Finally, the ability to inspire people to positive action and tide over negative emotions makes them very effective leaders. In the classroom, these are your children who are natural leaders. They will be able to lead and be part of a team very effectively. They will enjoy classroom interactions and group projects. To facilitate learning of school subjects through interpersonal intelligence, we can encourage children to use peer interaction, group projects, cooperative learning, and interviewing. Such activities enable children to understand, process, remember, and reproduce their subject matter. This also enables children to develop their own interpersonal intelligence. Finally, we will look in detail at the naturalist intelligence and its potential in the classroom. This is the intelligence of environmentalists. The core competencies, as we have seen in the earlier modules, are: these individuals have the ability to identify, distinguish, and classify the natural world and work well with plants and animals. They feel for and with nature and can use the environment effectively. They are enthusiastic explorers of nature. In the classroom, children high on naturalist intelligence will be nurturers. They enjoy tending to plants and caring for animals. They show a natural inclination towards natural sciences such as biology, botany, zoology, and geography. To facilitate learning of school subjects through naturalist intelligence, we can encourage children to read outside, go on nature walks, identify insects, classify plants, build habitats, and many such activities. This enables children to understand, process, remember, and reproduce the subject matter. Now that we have seen how MI can be used to enable and enhance the learning potential in children, in the next segment we will see how aspects of MI can be incorporated in the classroom.